That was while he was in the service.
And then tell me about the day that your dad finally told you what was really going on.
We were watching the In Searcher program. They had Jesse Marcel on there about the Roswell crash. My dad figured they were starting to declassify it. So and I asked him, about the UFO crash in New Mexico, the Aztec and then Roswell. He told me it was true. My dad would deny everything. He said, that's nothing but BS, Yeah.
And then he finally came out and he told you, years later when you guys were watching?
Yeah.
And he thought the secrecy lid had been lifted. His dad they were watching the crash, a story on the crash recovery, and his dad thought, oh, the lid's off, I can talk now, I guess.
Yeah.
That's what I would feel. Yeah.
Because they told my dad that eventually we'd put this out to the public, but for now we're going to keep it secret, though.
Yeah.
So people wonder how this can be kept secret. A father was keeping it secret from his own son.
Yeah. But after the same event that he's talking about was when the guy from the recovery operation over at Kingman came forward. He called APRO to tell us about his assistance in that recovery. And we got that whole story as a result of the release of the Roswell information on TV.
August 16, 1945, around noon. My dad's circling in a B-29 bomber from Alamogordo. He's flying with the 231st Army Airfields Base Unit. He's circling around over this area. He reports an aircraft crash down in this area here. It had skidded for about 100 yards. It was buried at the end of one of these ravines here. He reports an airplane crash back. He lands back at the base. They rush up here to get they bring back a little live alien, a little gray. It's Colonel Maurice Preston had in his custody with the MPs, and 2 dead aliens in body bags. And there were a lot of other materials too in there.
How did you reference this spot right here? How did you know this is roughly the area?
Because my dad told me it was right by the Walnut Creek, right by San Antonio, New Mexico.
And where's Walnut Creek here?
Walnut Creek should be right about here.
Should be this draw right in here. Should be Walnut Creek.
There's a ranch here called the Padilla Ranch. That's where it took place, right in this area right here.
And you said there was something having to do with a radio tower.
Yes, there was a damaged radio tower about a mile from the crash that was heavily damaged. They found that. It's
interesting that right across the way, right across the highway there is that radio tower right over there.
Right up here. The crash is about 30 feet long and about 14 feet high. It has a kind of a hump, like a fin, big fin on the front end. Yeah.
All right. And how about the aliens inside?
Little small grays. They had one in custody about 3.5 feet. He was walking. Colonel Maurice Preston, who was my dad's commander of the 231st, he had him in custody with the MPs. They took him away. I suppose the Wright-Patterson flight.
And how did your dad come to see this live alien?
He saw him right there, right by the hangar. They were out on the flight line too.
Who was with the live alien?
The MPs and Colonel Maurice Preston.
What happened with the live ET as far as your dad
He was
knows?
taken away in the car very quickly. He was interviewed later on in late 1950 or early 51. Wright-Patterson.
And you said they showed him something?
Yes, they showed him films of the Mexico crash in 1950 and the Aztec crash. And also this here. Yeah.
And how did he first observe this saucer?
Circling around the B-29 over here. He was flying on a training mission.
And how many other people were with him on this mission?
Let's see, about the B-29 carries the crew to about nine. Yeah, the co-pilot was, the gunners, the bombardier, all that.
So there are 8
Navigator.
or 9 other potential witnesses just from the B-29 alone.
They belong to the 231st Army Airfields Base Unit.
What are you going to try and do as far as providing evidence?
Try to look up my dad's records to see if I can get the documentation that he was stationed here.
What was the date that your dad said this occurred on?
August 16, 1945. It was a Thursday, I believe.
Was this shortly after the Japanese surrender?
Yes, the day after.
And again, what time of day did this occur in?
This is around noon.
There's a snow-capped peak over there. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yes. Pretty heavy snow.